Everybody, and welcome to the first math newsletter of the year. I am going to, like I did last year, do a video version of it. I'm also going to send you the PDF version, and you can decide what makes the most sense for you. Which way do you like to kind of digest the information that is coming at you? And the goal is to kind of set up a newsletter each month and get it out to you at the beginning of each month, hopefully midweek, so that you have a chance to read it and you're not kind of inundated with tons of information. I know lots of other things come at you on Fridays and over the weekends. I am going to try and separate the newsletter into about 2 pages, one being just general math information and then one being some things kind of specific to ST Math. So as we start, we are remote. Now what do I teach is kind of the big question. Switching to full remote has brought so many challenges, and one of the biggest ones is deciding what content falls into my mini lesson live sessions, what content falls into small group live sessions, and what content falls into things that they can be doing independently. And how do we not kind of navigate all of those in a nice fluid way that makes sense throughout one week? And every day is probably not going to look the same. I'm working on lesson plan ideas as a resource hub for each grade level. And the goal is to provide you with some ideas for which pieces of things might fit best into the different forms of instruction that are happening within that math period or that math block. And to be on the lookout for an email, I'm going to share a folder with you for your grade level. And that'll be a way for me to kind of continue to add resources without inundating your email. So once that folder is shared with you, then you're going to have to kind of just keep coming back into that folder, add it to your drive. Resources will be updated continually. And then as far as kind of how you're going to be able to reach out to me or receive coaching this year, it's going to be a little bit different, obviously. I unfortunately am not working out of the building, so you can't just kind of pop into my office and I can't meet with you in your classroom. So because of that, we're going to have to set up some virtual one-on-one sessions, or you're always welcome to pop into the open office hours. I am going to be taking a set lunch from 12:15 to 1 every day that kind of works out. Of course, if I have other meetings, which I tend to have a lot of, that overlap that time, I'll have to adjust my lunch time. I'm really hoping that time that I chose, it kind of goes a little bit into one of the lunch blocks and a little bit into the other. So those of you who tend to like to meet during your lunchtime with me, hopefully it'll still kind of work out for the majority of us. And you can always email me to set up one-on-one coaching sessions to fall within your prep time. I will also be available to go to all of the grade level content planning times weekly. When you're talking about math stuff, I will be there to kind of help you and be another kind of sounding board or resource for different math things that come up throughout this remote teaching experience. My open office hours are going to be Thursdays from 2:45 to 3:30, starting next Thursday, that first week of October. And there's a Google Meet link that was shared with you previously, but it can also be found on my website. You can just click right on that Google Meet link and pop right into the Google Meet. If you pop in, and I look like I'm just kind of like zoned out, say hi. I may not realize you're in there. I'm kind of hanging out and no one comes to the office hours. I'm going to keep doing the work that I need to do. So go ahead and just kind of say, hey, I'm here. I want to chat. And then if we have a whole group of us, then we can kind of, if we're all talking about the same thing, or if it works out that you want to set up an additional one-to-one time. But that kind of is some of the ways you can get a hold of me. So as far as the website, I created a Google site this year and it's been growing. So if you checked it out a couple weeks ago, it probably looks a lot different. I'm continuing to add resources there. I'm hoping that it's an organized kind of like hub for us that, for both parents and for teachers. You'll find that there's a special teacher resource page. And I know that you get inundated with emails and then I've shared something with you, but you're like, I can't remember what the email was or when the email was or all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that if I keep putting the things on this webpage for you, you can go back to that webpage and find things a lot easier. Another way to kind of stay organized with the stuff that I share out with you is to organize your Google Drive. So I created a short video kind of showing you some tricks for organizing your Google Drive. It's not the only way. I'm sure there are way better videos out there from way better teachers who have a handle on organizing. Google Drive is like a giant digital filing cabinet that's really amazing to use. It means that you have everything that you need at your fingertips whenever you need them. All right, moving into all things ST Math. Looking for my GG Culture Ambassadors. So check out this quick video. If you have no desire to do anything GG Culture Ambassador-wise, go ahead and you can fast forward past this part. you love ST Math? Maybe as much as I do, or a fraction of how much I do? Do you find that encouraging a culture of ST Math and problem solving and perseverance really helps your students grow as mathematicians? Do you enjoy creating awards and encouraging students to persevere through problem solving and to work super, super hard? If you are that person, then maybe being a GG Culture Ambassador here at Meadowbrook is the right thing for you. I'd love for you to join me in spreading the culture of ST Math this year remotely. I'm looking for one person from each grade level that would work kind of as like the liaison between the whole building culture and celebrations to the grade level culture and celebrations, and then helping out fellow colleagues at your grade level with classroom celebrations and culture. I really don't have a specific layout for how this is going to go. I'm hoping that we can kind of build it together. So if that is something that you would like to do with me, please email me by Friday, and then I will get in touch with whoever I kind of narrow it down to per grade level. If there's more than one of you per grade level, we will work it out so that everybody can really be a part of building the ST Math culture, especially now that we are in a remote situation this fall. I look forward to working with my ambassadors and with everybody to really build the love of math and of problem solving and perseverance with our kiddos at Meadowbrook School. All right, so mini lesson ideas. Mini lessons are great ways to kind of continue to build upon those first kind of introductory lessons that we did with ST Math. At the beginning of the year, I shared with you 6 lessons that could kind of kick off ST Math, and I really hope that those were helpful for you, at least as a way to kind of think about and make them your own as well. I know the ones that I had the opportunity to do in classrooms seem to go really well, and looking at the numbers and seeing that everybody has been able to log on successfully and the amount of minutes that students are doing, I know that we are off to a really, really great start. So thank you for that. Here are some other ideas for mini lessons that you may want to try out. So perseverance was one of the ones that was in that first 6, but it's a really important lesson to kind of incorporate with your other perseverance conversations, but kind of tone it right to ST Math specifically, and the fact that when we want them to persevere in ST Math, we don't want them trying the same thing over and over and over again, because it's not going to change anything. If they've tried something on a puzzle and that didn't work, they need to adjust their thinking, and that really comes into like the piece where one of the other ideas is the learning cycle and the think before you click, and really watching what happens on that screen. So much can happen there to help them adjust their thinking and to continue to try and to persevere. Goal setting is a great mini lesson. Once you have wrapped your mind around how you want them to goal set in a very kind of more specific way, you can have a goal setting mini lesson, but you can also talk about it before you've come up with that idea. So students can see how many puzzles and how many minutes they're doing on a daily basis. And the classrooms that I've been in, we talked to them about 90 minutes for 2nd grade and 60 minutes for kindergarten and 1st grade. So we want them to start paying attention and seeing those numbers and kind of reflecting on their own time, and are they reaching their goal or are they not reaching their goal? And then you could move to more specifically using a resource, which I've linked to, the ST Math resources, to have them formally kind of set goals weekly and reflect on those goals, which is a great independent activity, which we talked about independent activities versus live instruction activities. That's a great one for them to record, on, they could do it on Flipgrid and just orally tell you what their goal was and if they reached their goal, or they can write it down. Another mini lesson would be on math tools. So when we're stuck on ST Math, sometimes it means that we need to pull it off the screen for kids. They need to take out whiteboards. They need to take out different materials to help them along the way. So kind of having a mini lesson around that is going to help encourage students to do that as well. And then for 2nd grade only, quiz taking. We definitely want to have some mini lessons around quiz taking, what you need to do to really be prepared to take your quiz, especially the quizzes that come after they've done that objective. Those ones are really important to kind of for you to be able to see, are they carrying over that content that they just worked really hard on? Are they able to apply it to kind of a quiz type question? If you're looking for slides to support these mini lessons, feel free to reach out to me. I have slides for ones that I've already done, but I also could create some slides for you as well, which you could then kind of modify and make your own. So ST Math is way more than just an independent activity that we want kids kind of clicking through at the end of the day. So it can be a really powerful driver for your entire math instruction through puzzle talks, through the whole group through small group puzzle talks. So if you're able to find time within your math block for students to do ST Math, I really highly encourage that. It's going to give you the ability to watch live your reports and see if kids get stuck. You could pull kids back one-on-one and be able to kind of have conversations with them and ask them, because you can link right into their puzzle. You can kind of walk through and talk to them and kind of encourage them and help them through a small one-on-one puzzle talk, rather than students just being kind of stuck and having to touch base with them the following day. You can also follow the scope and sequence of ST Math for your entire math kind of like curriculum, if you want to say. Those of you that are using Eureka, if that's kind of where you feel comfortable and that's where you're working, you can go ahead and continue to follow the Eureka scope and sequence. But I also encourage us to look at the ST Math scope and sequence and kind of use that, and then pull in ST Mysteries and Number Talks and Numberless Word Problems and all of those other great things we have at our hands to kind of build an entire really rich math environment. I encourage you to sign up for a puzzle talk to be modeled in your classroom, especially kindergarten and first grade. Kindergarten, we had a couple opportunities to do that last year. First grade, this would be your first opportunity to kind of dig into that. So I encourage you to sign up on the Google form. Just put your name and your grade level. I know your names and grade levels, like I know who you guys are, but it helps me sort my information if you put that information into the form. I will reach out to you and I will find a date that works during your math block at the beginning of your math block, and then hopefully that date works. If not, we can kind of go back and forth. But I really, really encourage you to invite me in to model a puzzle talk for you. If one isn't enough and you're still not feeling comfortable and you want me to model another one, of course I will do that. But you got to start with one. I hope that this wasn't too much overwhelming information, and you could always come back to it and take it into small chunks. Don't forget to check out the website, maybe add it to your favorites bar at the top so you can get to it nice and easily.